super excited about the Johnson & Johnson lawsuit. I mean, I know that I can get giddy, but this is my Super Bowl, okay? And I'm super excited about it. Okay.
So let's kind of give them an update on what happened. Johnson & Johnson, the billion-dollar
international billion-dollar pharma company, Johnson & Johnson,
is getting sued
by one of their employees.
Why?
There's a question in the back. Why Company, Johnson & Johnson,
is getting sued
by one of their employees.
Why?
There's a question in the back. Why?
Fiduciary.
I think maybe it's too loud with all this talking here. I think we should go in an exam
right
room.
There.
Let's do that. Just flip that thing. Yes.
Wow, this is it. This is the one.
This is
Here
better.
We go.
Yeah.
All right, we're back.
Okay, so anyway, my name is Julie. I am the practice manager and bathroom monitor at the Arthritis Center in Bridgeton, Missouri.
I'm miscellaneous, and Claudia.
Her name is Claudia, and her title is miscellaneous. So the two of us make up the advocacy team. And
it's a day in the life at the Arthritis Center right now.
Yes. So we started the podcast off in the lobby, but it's too loud with all of the staff still checking patients in and out. So we're coming out here in the hallway. So
Johnson & Johnson lawsuit.
Yeah. So here's the dealio. One of the employees, and not just an employee, a director level employee, filed this lawsuit 2 days ago in New Jersey, and it's a class action lawsuit against Johnson & Johnson, their employer, for the lack of fiduciary duties.
What's a fiduciary, you may ask?
Okay, so fiduciaries, well, I think we need to back up a little bit more from fiduciary, but because there's something called ERISA, okay? And ERISA, right here, and you're going to put all this stuff up there. ERISA, E-R-I-S-A. ERISA stands for Employee Retirement Income Security Act, okay? And that act was something Congress passed in 1974. Really quickly, a definition of ERISA is a federal law that sets the minimum standards for the most voluntarily established retirement and health plans in private industry to provide protection for the individuals in this plan. So we saw a bunch of dust-ups about this with the 401ks about a decade ago, and now we're having dust-ups in the health space, the health plan space. So ERISA, when you have an ERISA plan, which is where you have a plan that is a health plan that's self-funded, so that's like the assets of the plan are managed by a handful of employees or a committee of employees, and they are sworn to do right by people. Okay, so fiduciary duties in itself is that you are acting in the best interest of the people that you're protecting. So the fiduciary responsible for protecting the assets would be the plan assets for J&J, which has 130,000 employees. Like, what? That's a ton. So it doesn't. I know, it's just a jam job. We're working girls in a working office. I know, right? It's okay.
It's part of the job.
We're in Bridgeton.
Lots of stuff happens.
Its definition is to protect the interests of the employee benefit plan participants. So, plan participants, like all of this, plan participants mean patients, okay? And the plan participant also is the employee. So you've got all these big, stupid words. So I'm going to take it down to the third grade level that I read at and just say ERISA means somebody or a group of 3 people in J&J's case have pledged to do right by the employees because everyone's a patient and they are in charge of making the buy, deciding which prescriptions, which pharmacy benefit manager, what insurance company, all of this stuff is going to be the best use of the employee's premium and the J&J's premium.
Well, it's just like, so that's making sure out of when
now
my
we have a helicopter landing outside. This is amazing.
But the microphones help. So
okay.
When money's deducted from my paycheck, that means the fiduciary is responsible to make sure that the money is being...
This is too much. Should we go down the hall?
No, it's people are still here.
Oh
Insurance
my God.
is corrupted. Enrique with rolling R, back to snap, or back to nap. Thank you, Enrique.
Okay. So here's the highlights. Okay. I told you guys that I was interested in just doing like 3 pages of this at a time.
Well, she got to 9.
Yeah.
This
literally,
helicopter
there's a
is
helicopter
landing.
that's landing in a parking lot.
So I think you can hear us fine still, right, guys?
Well, who knows? As long as it doesn't come crashing through here, I think we'll be okay. All right. So at the essence is this is a high profile scandal. Okay. This is a scandal. I'm all about a scandal. The scandal is that Johnson & Johnson, J&J, 3 muckety mucks, that's my term for being like leadership people, mismanaged the employee benefits program on the health insurance side. I read all 74 pages because I was like giddy over the whole thing. And I've got all sorts of notes. And I just like to talk about this stuff and take a really complex issue and take it down to the most simplest terms so everybody can understand it. So, high profile scandal. The allegations are that they've mismanaged the dollars and harm all the plan participants, not all of them, some, which essentially wasted their money. They've wasted their money. So we've talked about the definition of ERISA. There will not be a written quiz later. ERISA, E-R-I-S-A, Employee Retirement Income Security Act. That means that there's a federal law that sets the minimum standards to protect the patients in the plan. Question?
Nope.
None is what the word I'm looking for.
And our voices sound fine. The helicopter is not messing with it.
Oh, perfect.
We are all good.
Great. Okay, so ERISA demands that the fiduciary meaning people, I'm going to get into some of that in a minute, they swear to protect the interests of the employee plan. Okay? So ERISA subjects anyone with discretionary authority. Discretionary authority means like the buck stops with you. Okay? They're a decision maker over the employee plan benefits to fiduciary duties. And in this legal case, it's in quotes, it's the highest known in the law, which that's amazing. So, the standard is here when you're in charge and you're making decisions for your employees' health plans and how you spend those dollars. Okay, so mismanagement, the charges are, and I love this stuff. My God, this is like so exciting. I'm so excited about this. Okay, the charges are, in a nutshell, mismanagement of the prescription drug benefits that J&J executives didn't do, not supervising a PBM, which means a pharmacy benefit manager, which happens to be my most hated Express Scripts. They're here headquartered in St. Louis. Hey, call me. Okay.
They're not in the office. We already know that.
No, I know. They're down the street from us, which is why we can't have everything nice in Missouri, because Express Scripts owns all of our legislators here. Okay, so mismanagement of the drug prescription benefits, not supervising Express Scripts, and we all know they need a shit ton of supervision because they don't answer the phone. You can't get. I mean, they're the worst of the worst. These PBMs. And that is how they like prey on people. They have everything mandated to them, so they don't need to provide any service, and therefore they don't. Okay, so looking at this, the 6 areas, okay, that are problematic for the employees of J&J that are on their health plan are they all paid higher premiums, or higher payments for their prescription medicines. They have higher premiums because every year their premiums are going up because of the mismanagement. They've got higher deductibles. They've got higher coinsurance, higher copays, and the piece de resistance, the home run here is that if you are an employee of J&J, you probably got a lower wage increase. And why did you get a lower wage increase in annual review and limited wage growth? Because the 3 fiduciaries over there blew all your money on crap.
You want to know how?
And the crap they probably blew it on is like private airplanes and yachts for Express Scripts.
And Super Bowl suites.
Super Bowl suites. I heard they're like $1.4 million for a Super Bowl suite.
Pocket change for $1 billion company.
Well, that's true. So if you want to look at the example on page 3, okay, of this, the whole thing is just like so amazing.
Is it possible that this will be the beginning of the end of non-transparent PBM/employer contracts?
God, I hope so. I hope so. I can't imagine that anybody that's a fiduciary doesn't have like a little bit of brown in their pants right now, thinking, whoop, am I next? I mean, this is like a lot. Okay, so let's just look at the example that these lawyers put on page 3. All right, there's a drug called teriflunomide. All right, it's a MS drug for multiple sclerosis. In rheumatology, we prescribe laflutamine. So teriflunomide is a kissing cousin and made off some of those same ingredients and mechanism of actions of laflutamine. All right, so teriflunomide is an oral pill. It's a pill that you swallow. A 90-day supply of teriflunomide at Mark Cuban, love Cuban, Mark, call me. Cost plus drugs is $28.40. But J&J,
wait, just let them guess.
J&J, the 3 fiduciaries who oversaw the plan benefits and made the decisions and made horrible ones at that, they agreed to pay Express Scripts, their PBM, pharmacy benefit manager, $10,239.69 for the same damn drug. Not anything different, the same drug, teriflunomide, cash price $28.40 at Mark Cuban's cost plus, $10,239.69 for Express Scripts.
Okay? Do you want to know how much your copayment was?
The patient's copayment was $1,725 for that stupid prescription, and then J&J picked up the $8,514.59. So that's what they got. So, I mean, I think the dog could do a better job at fiduciary responsibility. I literally think I could train Bunny, our dog, to say, which one do you want? 28 pieces of candy? Or do you want the 10,000 dog treats? Okay? The dog would do the same thing that the fiduciaries did at J&J. Okay, so where does this extra money go? Where does this extra money go? All right, I'll take questions.
Where's the extra money go?
It goes into the pocket of the pharmacy benefit manager. In this case, it's Express Scripts. All right, so back to the lawsuit. It's unreasonable markups. There's a chart in this lawsuit, which we'll get to in another time, because I could talk about this for like 3 weeks. But on average, Express Scripts marked up the drugs for the J&J plan, special price, you choose now, all that stuff. They marked it up 498%, not $498, 498%. That is marginal stuff. So let's talk about who the players are in here. So J&J, Johnson & Johnson, is a leading drug maker that earns billions of dollars a month selling drugs. I am actually a fan of J&J. We use their drugs in our office. We prescribe their drugs all day long, but someone's got some explaining to do over there. Okay, the J&J 3 fiduciaries, they selected the pharmacy benefit manager, the PBM Express Scripts. They failed to manage that pharmacy benefit manager, Express Scripts. And, I'm sure they have some cell phone numbers since these 3 are supposed to be doing the right thing. I mean, I can't get Express Scripts on the phone, but they failed to manage them.
Well, also at risk in the lawsuit are the benefits consultants that push the big 3.
We're going to get to them because they're conflicted consultants because they're on the take too with this. So the J&J fiduciaries, which are 3 people named in the lawsuit, which I'm going to give you a little tour of them. They selected PBM Express Scripts, pharmacy benefit manager. They failed to manage Express Scripts. They failed to rein them in when they knew they were profiteering off the patients' backs, the employees. They failed to protect their beneficiaries. Beneficiaries is another big word for just patients, okay, and employees. So they failed to protect their employees, the beneficiary, the patient, which they would already sworn to with their fiduciary duties at this high standard. And then they forced all their employees, so they mandated them to the most expensive methods conceivable. There is nothing more expensive than this. I mean, you cannot possibly throw $10,239.69 out the window of your moving car for one of the 130,000 employees at J&J. This is a multi-billion-dollar problem here. Okay, so that's...
How are they sleeping at night?
Well, I don't know. So who is the person that filed the lawsuit? Her name is Anne. She is a participant in the ERISA plan and a whistleblower. I love a whistle. If I had a whistle, I'd blow one right now. Oh, look at you whistle. Have whistle, will blow. I actually can't whistle, but I'll get a whistle.
She's got
okay. One. So who is J&J? J&J had $95 billion. That's billion with a B, folks, in revenue for 2022, but for 1 year, 2022 to 2023. They're number 40 on the Fortune 500 companies. Okay, this is a big freaking outfit that knows better, and they should do better. But I'm thinking they're going to be doing better right quick here.
Hopefully.
They employ 130,000 people worldwide. The health plan assets of J&J for the most recent year, and this is all in this lawsuit, were $148.28 million that these three bozos were managing. Okay, so who's on the hook? So Peter Fasalo is the executive VP and the chief human resources over there at J&J.
Peter Falsetto.
Well, we'll just call him Petey. Here he is. He looks very, very well funded.
We hate him.
He's very rich. Very rich. Peter Fasalo, PhD. He's responsible for the global talent, recruiting, diversity, and inclusion, compensation, benefits, employee retention, and all aspects of the human resources agenda.
He does look...
He is screwed.
Well funded.
Screwed. I hope he looks good in orange, because I'm thinking that's where he's headed. All right. So I did a little Googling on Peter. Or look, Petey. Hi, Petey.
We love a little web investigation.
Okay. Petey has a net worth of $47.6 million as of July of 2023. What the fuck? Why are you screwing the people when you make so much money? Okay. I'm guessing the plaintiff in this case doesn't make anywhere near.
Oh my gosh. She probably didn't even get a Christmas present.
$47.6 million. Wow. It's interesting because he sold some stock in J&J. As most recently as July of 2023, he sold stock worth $3.4 million. So like these numbers are astronomical. I can't even relate to this, but this dude he's in a whole lot of trouble because he did the wrong thing.
Our Super Bowl would be going to this court case.
According to the lawsuit. And of course, this is just the opinion of me and my sidekick here. We're just reading this and making our own opinions and guesses. So that is what's going on. And I am super excited.
$10,000.
For a drug that costs $30. Like you can't even fill up your gas tank for $30.
I could fill up many gas tanks
for 10,000. Yeah, but like seriously, like how can this be a thing? Well, this is a thing and it's a class action. So I am hoping this is the first of many because these PBMs have been getting away with frickin' unconceivable murder and harm to patients. And here's the dealio. Every single person is a patient, but not very many people are fiduciaries. But I would guess to say old Petey has got some, maybe they're putting him on leave over this. I certainly would.
Administrative leave, because they did Ann.
They put Ann, the plaintiff, on administrative leave.
So I sure hope.
You are in such shit. But if you'd like to come on our podcast, I'd love to chat with you.
We would love to interview
your side of this. And you could make this whole thing make sense to me, Petey. What do you see? Come on down to Bridgeton. I'd even buy you a coach ticket on Southwest Airlines.
Anything off McDonald's menu, your choice.
We'll supersize it. Supersize it. So this is really like interesting. And we have been talking about this at advocacy conferences and trying to get patients care. We've been talking about this for 2 to 3 years. Okay.
And we've been waiting for something like this to happen. And we thought the Tyson Foods dropping Express Scripts was the big thing. Nope. Tyson Foods grabbed their fiduciary, said, look at this. No. And Johnson & Johnson got hooked. This is going to be revolutionary.
It is. It is. And the thing that I find interesting, and I really would love to, I'm going to email these lawyers that are on this case, because here's their email addresses, because they're trying to get a class, which means anybody else that's involved in Johnson & Johnson that's overpaid and been screwed by these lack of fiduciary duties from Petey Boy. They're trying to recruit more people. And I do cases all day long of getting the overturned and not using Express Scripts or their kissing cousin Accredo. I'm going to email these boys some of my cases and say, hey, you want to contact some of my patients? Because I think we could buckle up together. We need to change healthcare, and this is one surefire way to do it.
Oh my gosh. And Meadows says, do you have any experience getting IVIG treatments approved by insurance? It's a total nightmare.
As a matter of fact, I do.
Our podcast, it should be out latest tomorrow, but we're finishing it up, and we actually interviewed the we
had 3 IVIG patients, but one of our IVIG patients came into the office this morning, and she sat down with us and we talked about her IVIG treatment, because she had a disease called CIDP, which is like chronic demyelization. It's like a horrid disease. And she, you're going to hear her story.
Yeah.
It'll be on our podcast. So yes, I would love to help get some IVIG covered. And we went the distance with her, and she recovered, and she's doing beautifully.
She's going to go to yoga in Bali. I said that wrong.
Yes.
Bali.
This is a 39-year-old lady that showed up here in a wheelchair with her dad pushing her because she had such a chronic decline. And Dr. Bach diagnosed her within 20 minutes. And I fought with Cigna on and on and on. And I told her, my mission is to get your 5 days of IVIG done before Christmas. This was 2 years ago. Or was it last year?
It was last year.
It was last year?
It was.
My God, time flies. At any rate, got it done. And we moved mountains here. So I would love to talk more about IVIG and how we can help. But you got to know some people to get the lumbar puncture done and confirm the diagnosis, because these insurance companies, they don't want to pay for jack shit. We all know that.
Well, and Julie knows how to make waves in a puddle. That's one thing. She can make a wave out of a puddle.
She wrote that, make waves in a puddle, on the sheet. And I thought it said make waves with a poodle.
Have you heard about the IVIG treatment struggle for patients with PANDAS disorder?
Yes, I have. My college roommate lives in North Carolina, and she has 2 daughters that are young adults that have PANDAS, and they do IVIG. And it's such a racket what she has to do. Her husband works for a major company. We will not name the company yet, but maybe we will. But when her kids were in college, they're not in college anymore, but when they were, Optum RX used to tell her, listen, we can't ship the medicine to your daughter's out-of-state colleges, so we're going to have to ship it to your house in North Carolina, and you're going to have to reship it to your daughters. Do you know how marginal that is? And you have a giant PBM, not just suggesting some bullshit, but that was the treatment plan. Like, what? That's a real thing. Well, we can get Laura on. My college roommate would totally come on and talk about that.
Well, and it's just, there's no good when it comes to specialty pharmacies.
And remember, there's nothing special about specialty pharmacies. The special thing is the high price. That's what's so special about it.
OMG, it's not special. Wait, same. I'm a young adult who developed PANDAS at 17, but was diagnosed at 27.
Okay, so my college roommate, her daughters, the one just graduated from college like a year ago, and the other one is finishing up in May. And they've been doing IVIG for a long time, and it's helped them. It's made the girls be able to get through college. But yeah.
So what do you expect is going to happen with this J&J case?
Well, the fact that J&J allowed it to be filed means they didn't want to work with Annie to fix the system, which that kind of sucks, because nobody wants to litigate. What you want to do is have like, hey, can we fix this? And here are the problems. And this lady's is a director at J&J.
Right, she worked her way up, obviously.
Yeah, and she's a big freaking deal.
$1,100 a month copayment for a $28 medication.
Yeah, it's not a month, every 90 days, but nonetheless,
still same difference.
I mean, it's one of many things. I mean, this is not somebody screwed me out of $10,000. This is somebody
screwed billions
of dollars. Because if it's happening this year, what do you want to bet? They've been working with Express Scripts year over year over year over year. Because why would you ever want to send out a proposal for bids when you've got all this stuff going on with your best friends at Express Scripts?
Right. Petey probably went to go play some golf and drank a little bit too much on the golf course and signed the line a bit too quick. That's just my assumption, but
Petey, you are in so much
he looks
problems.
like a golfer.
I wonder if we can make like a Petey pencil. We cut his face out and we get Petey out.
Yeah, for all of our PBM problems.
Yes. Hi, Petey.
We've got Petey, the PBM problem.
Where's Petey? It's like a Where's Waldo, but where is Petey?
My insurance won't even talk to my doctor from Harvard about IVIG coverage. She fought tooth and nail.
I did.
There were tears involved.
I actually took my IVIG case for my patient that you're going to see the interview for. I took it onto social media, and literally, this is crazy. The nurse navigator from Cigna told my patient, her name's Dorothea. She told Dorothea, "Hey, tell that office manager, that would be me, to stand down.
Ceasefire on
all
platforms."
I'm armed with a sharp pen and a sharp pencil and a whistleblower right here. She can blow a whistle, right? Stand down, ceasefire.
You're just adding fuel to a fire, my friend.
You tell me to stand down when I know I'm right and
She's
I'm
gonna stand right up.
I'm standing up and I'm like coming hard.
I'm going to email you all because I'm involved in Panda's advocacy work and would love to chat. Yeah, we'd love to talk. Maybe we can get you with Laura.
With my college roommate, we'll do a little thing on it because
Absolutely.
she's super knowledgeable on it. She's been fighting this fight with her daughters, with pandas since they were like, in grade school.
Ole Miss RPH said PD merch. We could get some PD problems.
Yes, but I don't want to make any money off this stuff. People don't have money to waste. We need to make some stuff. We need to get some sponsors and just sell and send this stuff out to people.
Yeah.
PD pencils.
PD problems too.
PD pencils. PD is the solution.
Maybe
maybe we'll make it orange too. His new color.
The shirt in orange. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
Look at
we'll
us.
make a mugshot out of it.
Yay. Yes, please. What's the best way to contact you all directly? c.holly2014@gmail.com.
That's her personal email address.
I've had it since before high school, so don't judge. Just like cmoney636. This is my personal opinion and my personal account to make a difference.
And this is my personal opinion. And all I am is a bathroom monitor and a practice manager with a whole 9 years experience doing God's work over here in Bridgeton.
And she has receipts from like before computers were even around.
Well, I am 58.
And she showed me her little folders and it's like, well, she doesn't miss a beat.
So I try not to.
And it's just really interesting to see because Johnson & Johnson's huge. They're very well known for some scandals too around they've been involved in some litigation other than this. And the fact they weren't willing to settle
or fix it. What about, we don't need to settle. Why don't you just fix it? Why don't you tell your employee, hey, we screwed up on this. We made a big mistake with Petey's relationship with the leadership or whoever.
I drank too many tequilas. Right. I signed that line. I make $47.5 million a year.
He doesn't make that much. That's his net worth. Okay.
Oh, that's it.
That's his net worth.
It's
it's more than all of us. Okay. It's more than all of Bridgeton combined. His net worth is $47.6 million as of July 25th of 2023. So God only knows it's probably doubled by then.
Didn't Martha Stewart get in trouble for selling a bunch of her stock for a company and she went to jail? That's how her and Snoop became friends.
It is?
Yeah.
Snoop isn't in jail.
He went to jail before and Snoop and Martha have a cookbook.
Well, I know, but wait a minute.
That's how they became friends. She has more street cred than Snoop, because Snoop never went to jail.
Wow.
Martha did.
Well, maybe Petey will get one of those teardrop tattoos. Doesn't that mean something?
Yep, I just heard of that the other day. A teardrop means you killed somebody.
I don't know these things.
But malpractice, at least, or something, like endorsing this specialty pharmacy to the point that your employees that are working their butts off have a copay of $1,100 for something that otherwise would have been $30, and that's me rounding up.
Yeah, $28.60 to be exact. So yeah, so that's the high level overview of the first 9 pages of this litigation. Put this, my little notes, and can we put this up on the thing, or is it just too big?
Well, if you Google the Johnson & Johnson lawsuit, you can print it out. I made the mistake of printing out each separate page. I'll upload Julie's notes for everyone to look at with this whole thing, so everyone will get to see her cliff notes.
Yes.
And
then we'll do the next 9 pages tomorrow.
All right. So, any questions, comments, concerns? I don't have any. I'm excited.
I am super excited. I'm going to go make my PD pencil right now.
We'll keep you guys updated and see you tomorrow.
Bye, fiddlesticks.